Let me talk briefly about just a couple of standards. Talk about the reasoning through writing. Throughout my reasoning through writing, I had 4 assignments instead of 3. Like Megan, I was really pressed because of snow days, and I had to start finding ways to get creative in order to combine this assignment here, combine this assignment there. The first assignment I came up with, I wanted to link it to time, continuity, and change. And what I did was we studied World War II somewhat in depth. The kids really got into it, and it was, rah, 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 and everything like that. And I wanted to set them up for the Korea and Vietnam War. One of the standards was that the student needs to know how these wars were different. So we followed MacArthur, because I felt that MacArthur gave them someone to focus on, and his tactics that worked at one point, they didn't work in later wars. And what I had the students do was pretend that they were a World War II veteran, and they were now fighting in either Korea or Vietnam, and they were to write a letter home to their family or friends. And many of the students did that. But the rubric that I provided, here's an example of student work here. He just got into it. I mean, he really got into it. But he kind of, as you can see, he starts talking about he was all bloody and everything. He didn't quite do what I asked him to do, or I should rather say that I didn't explain what I wanted, basically. Like Megan this semester, I had a little bit of training with writing rubrics and stuff like that. So, but moving on, that was the first assignment. The second, the second assignment, we went to power, authority, and governance, and I included this image here because Hammurabi, I mean, that's the first one of the first things of power. But this was based on a lesson that we did back in the fall. In the second assignment, I basically had kids, well, we were working our way up to civil rights. Okay? I'm kind of off track, but I apologize. The second assignment was on the Berlin Wall, and I came up with something here that just, once again, my goals for this whole thing was to get kids to establish empathy, to be able to go back, try to get to know the people, and try to do this in a way where they could grow through their writing and stuff like that, and just really, again, just not to reach back and take people out of their place in time. You have to apologize to you guys. I'm not feeling very well. Basically, these assignments worked to the point that the end result was I was able to get the kids to combine global connections, civic ideals and practices, individual development and identity, and the kids were able to tie in the Cold War with the Civil Rights Unit and see why each one mattered to the other. And some student responses would say, they would say things like, the world saw us as putting down communism, but at the same time, they were seeing images of people getting sprayed with fire hoses here in our home country. And I thought that was pretty, I was very impressed with that. Let's move on to the end tasks. The end tasks that had the greatest effects on me, the first one I have to start with is being able to accommodate diverse learners. This is something that is very near and dear to my heart. As a parent, this is something that I really, you want to know that your child is being given an opportunity to learn, a fair opportunity to learn. And this is something I really reflected on over the past year, throughout the year. And it made me question, what is democracy in the classroom? And it made me really try to go about each assignment in a way that I could teach every child within the same class every day. And that is my ultimate goal as a teacher. The other one was 5. Being able to create a learning environment that helps kids reach their potential, it's safe. In order to do this, and this ties in with number 3, in order to do this, you have to be able to understand how kids learn, and that they all learn differently. And one child is not going to feel as comfortable maybe as the next child simply because of their background. Who knows? But whatever differences there may be. And just another principle that I really got into was number 10. Again, as a parent, this is something that I had to look at both ways. One of my final blogs was on parent principles, and I was very fortunate to be able to participate in team meetings every day after school, and it was good to see both sides of the desk. One thing that I learned throughout this, that as a teacher, the importance of always being solutions oriented when you're talking to parents. And that is something that is one thing that I really want to take with this. So I've covered the points I wanted to